Hi, in this video we're going to learn how to use passive voice sentences in simple past. Just a reminder for you. Remember that simple past is used to talk about things that happened in the past, things that already finished. And in this lesson I'm going to show you some examples. The first example is the one you see on your screen. The doctor explained the procedure. This is an active voice sentence, and remember, in active voice sentences the most important thing is the person. Who? In this case we have the doctor. What is the action? Explained. And what explained? He explained the procedure. When we change this to the passive voice, remember that now what is more important here is the procedure, the object or the thing that was affected. The example below shows the procedure was explained by the doctor. Here, some new things occur. Remember that I told you that in passive voice sentences, a key element is the verb to be, depending on the tense we are using. Since we are using past tense, the verb to be has to be in past. In this example, we have the procedure was, and then we use the past participle of the main verb in the active sentence. Remember that in the active sentence the verb was explained, it's in past. And remember that also the past participle of regular verbs like the verb explain is used in the same way. So the complete example is the procedure was explained by the doctor. We use the past of the verb to be, and we use the past participle of the verb explain, in this case a regular verb. These are some extra examples that you can look at. Example number 1, the pills were given to the patient. Who gave the pills? Maybe a doctor. If this were an active voice sentence, we would say a doctor gave the pills to the patient. But here we're only using passive voice. The pills were given to the patient. Example 2, COVID-19 was controlled using vaccines. Who controlled the COVID? In the active voice, it would be something like doctors or scientists control COVID using vaccines. But here we're using it in a passive voice. So we say COVID-19 was controlled using vaccines. The next example, the nurses were trained a month ago. Who trained the nurses? Maybe a specialist. We would say a specialist trained nurses a month ago. That would be an active voice sentence. But the passive voice would be the nurses were trained a month ago. Next example, an emergency call was made. Who made the call? Maybe a man, maybe a boy, maybe a child. So we would say a child made a phone call, an emergency call. But that's not important. Here what we are focusing on is on the passive. So we would say an emergency call was made. And the last example, the report was written by the nurse. Here we express who did the action, the nurse. So we would say the nurse wrote the report. That would be the active voice sentence. But here in the passive voice sentence we say the report was written by the nurse. If you want to continue practicing, you can go to the link here on the screen, or you can also do some extra exercises in this other link. In fact, I'm going to leave you all the links so you can practice on your own, or you can also go to the presentations and check the links so you can work on the exercises. That's all for this lesson and this explanation. I will see you in another video.